Hello, everyone. This is Jamie, and I just wanted to post a little bit about my breast cancer journey. Thank you for following it, whether it's my personal group page or YouTube page. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you all so much for your support and love. And when I share, I know I might sound like I'm ungrateful because I just want to share what's real. I don't really want to say that I'm not grateful. I'm grateful. And I'm also grateful just, um, like I was saying before, that I was feeling like, maybe my time is, maybe my time is done here, and maybe, um, I don't really serve a purpose anymore. And having so many people come and just tell me how much they love me is a great gift. It's a gift that people need to hear every day because um, I could pass away now. I don't want to pass away, but I'm just saying if I did, I know that people love me and they took the time to say it before. And so that is a great gift. If you have a friend or a loved one, make sure you tell them that you love them. Uh, and just, it's just a great reminder. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what it was like to have delirium. I think I was having delirium even when I was in at Marion. But I want to preface this by something spiritual. It might freak some people out. But when I had my sciatica before I ended up going to Marion Hospital having a stroke, I couldn't sleep the whole night long. I haven't had a night that I can recall in years where I haven't had a lick of sleep. So I didn't sleep at all. I was in so much pain. And as I was sitting in my family room is down, and up is a living room area. So I was just sitting there in a chair, awake, not being able to sleep or anything. And I saw, which I kid you not, looked like the angel of death walk across my floor. Didn't say a thing. He was dressed in black. Didn't see a head. His head was black. It was covered in black. And he was carrying like what looked like a sword. And he was walking deliberate and slow. And so I was wide awake. And so I yell out to it, "Who are you?" And, it's walked by. And I yell it again. I'm like, "Who are you?" And I was like, did I just see the angel of death? And so I was always had that in my mind as I was getting sick and everything. I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to make it. Definitely not going to make it. So I told my daughter, who she came downstairs because she usually does for whatever. And I told her, I think I saw the angel of death. And they're always like, okay, whatever. But I thought I'd tell you. And then I held on to it for a while, and then a couple days, and then I think I told Steve what I saw. Then when I was in Stanford, I told my sister. So this whole time, I had this feeling like I wasn't going to make it. And so when I was at Stanford at first, I don't know if this was before my surgery or after. I think it was before. I had a dream that I was in um, like a lobby, and in this lobby was a special opportunity. And they asked me if I wanted to be a part of that opportunity, and I said yes. And other people were getting a part of that opportunity and being successful, and I think they were getting a new house or whatever. And I didn't need a new house, so it was like, well, you know, maybe I shouldn't be here. And then they asked me, well, did you want some clothes? And I was like, well, I don't need clothes, but I could give clothes away, so I'll take them. And then as I tried to leave the lobby, I couldn't leave. And they were saying, well, you can't go anywhere. And they said, in fact, we have you now. And you're about retirement age. And so is your husband, which my husband is not. But and they said that basically no one's going to miss you. No one's going to know that we have you and you can't go anywhere. So then I started fighting them, And when I first came home, I hardly had a voice. And so back then in the hospital, I hardly had a voice. And they were saying, like, we can't hear you. Speak up, speak up. You sound just like a little baby. And I was fighting them. And they were fighting me back. And they were saying stuff like, you're the one who has to be here. You're the one that said you wanted clothes. And I said something like, yeah, I wanted clothes, but not for me, for somebody else, for other people. And it was that old couple that was fighting me, like an old lady and an old man. And so, however, I got out of that dream. It stuck with me. And then I was in the ICU, and I believe it was before my surgery. They had put me in the ICU, and I had this, I guess she was a nurse, night nurse, and her name was CH. I won't say her name just in case. Her name was CH. CR, I mean. And CR was really mean to me, right? And I don't know, this is the part where I don't know if this is true or a lie, but I believe it's true that the girls that were working with CR were dressed like the people in Men in Black. Dark eyeglasses, a watch on their right arm, and they were staring at me. One was staring at me by the CR, the other one was behind my bed, the other one was in front of my bed, and the other one was on the side. And they would just stare at me. And I was freaked out. I was like, well, what are you doing? And they wouldn't talk or anything. And if one person just moved out of, order or wanted to take a break or leave, CR, her first name is Cherry, CR would be like, what are you doing? You better not move. Better keep your eye on her. And I was like, what is happening to me? Why are they staring at me? They watched me like that. And until the morning. So I really couldn't sleep. My light stayed on the whole time. And I was right across from the nurse's station where the CR was there. And but at the time I didn't know her name at all. And so it was stressful. It stressed me out. And like I said, some people says that was delirium, but I swear it was not. I believe it was the real deal. So, because one of the girls started to complain about CR when she walked out of the room to use the bathroom or something. They were like, why is she always telling us what to do? Why does she think she's the boss? And this type of thing. Well, when I was in ICU, I'm not sure if I don't think I had my open heart surgery as of yet, but something happened where my lungs had collapsed. And I'm not sure if it was when they pulled out my teeth, because they pulled out two of my teeth because of decay. And so So I wasn't sure if that was it, but I couldn't breathe very well. And so at one point, it was about 3 in the morning because I was watching the clock. I coughed, you know, or try to cough. And then Cherry Renee, which I know this was not delirium, comes out and says, "Oh, you done it now. You done it now. You better cough that up. You better cough that up. Or you're never gonna see your kids again," right? And then I started freaking out. I'm never gonna see my kids again. I'm never gonna see I have to see my kids. I have to see my kids, right? Well, you better, she goes, you better use this thing, you know, the thing you blow into to help pump up your lungs. But I didn't know how to do it right. And so I was saying, I'm never gonna see my kids, and she would have like a sinister laugh, like it just made her so happy that I was so in distress. There wasn't any kind of like, oh, okay, honey, this is what you do. It was just like, well, you better do it. You ain't gonna see your kids. So after that was all done and everything, and I was kind of coming to my natural self, I asked her name. I said, "What's your name?" And she told me her name. My name's CR. And I said, "Well, you know what, CR? I don't think I like you very much." I was like, "I don't think I like you." And she started laughing because she could care less, right? And I would say, and I don't think you're a very nice person. And she thought that was hilarious. So apparently, after I had my open heart surgery, I called one of the doctors a name, which, I've been a Christian a long time. I'm not into name calling, and but I didn't know I did that. And I noticed that this doctor, he basically became my best friend, and I couldn't figure out why he was my best friend, but I guess he was just trying to make sure I was okay. They say things happen to you when you go under surgery. But so afterwards, I'm having these different, every time I would dream, something would feel funny come up. So one time I had a dream, and I dreamt that all the patients that were in the ICU were underneath the bed, like a box that had to be put together. And even though I knew that wasn't true, I felt like I was underneath the bed and they had to take me out and put me together. So I asked one of the head nurses there, and I said, I just have a question. Before my surgery, was I underneath the bed like a box? And then she was like, "No, you weren't." And so then the first thing, they go and grab a doctor of neurology, and they're like, "She's asking if she was underneath the bed. She's asking crazy questions." And so he came and he talked to me, and he was like, "What are you feeling?" And I said, "Well, I just wanted to know if I was underneath the bed." And I felt like other patients were underneath the bed waiting to be put back together. And I said, "And I know that's not true, but that's how I felt." And so he said, "Well, yeah, that's not true." And then he walked out. Then he walks back in. Well, no, he walks out. And then before he walks out, I said, "Doctor, can you tell me, am I crazy?" And he said, he says, "No, you're not crazy." And then he walks out. And he walks back in, and he says, "I got to tell you something. You're not crazy, but you're delirious. And you're in a state called delirium," which I had never really, if I heard it before, I never understood it. So how do you get into delirium? It's like when your body or your mind or something happens that is out of the normal, out of what you're used to. It could put you into a state of delirium, because your life isn't going like normal. And I know for me, like when they were working on my heart, they take your heart out. They put it somewhere and they give you a fake pumping heart so they can operate on your heart and put in the parts that they need to put in, the valves that they need to put in. So, I mean, that had to be part of it, just feeling like I was separated from my natural body. So, afterwards, I had different instances where, because in the beginning I thought people were trying to kill me, I was looking for that type of thing. And I remember being partly under and partly not under, and telling this one girl, I said, because I don't know, she must have did a procedure on me or did something while I was in that state, and I said, "You're the most evil person that was ever born," and I remember her say, "I'm not evil." And then I was continually saying things to people like, better be careful what you do. Some sins don't get forgiven. You better not. Well, I mean they do, but what I meant to say is, some things you can't come back from, because I really thought that they were trying to kill me. And so I made a lot of enemies. And I could tell because afterwards when I came to, I wanted to say, well, I'm sorry, I said these things, I didn't mean it. But some of these people would not look at me at all. They were just so upset because I was just so like in their face. Um, and in that thought pattern that people were trying to kill me, one of the biggest things that what happened was they moved me from my room where I was to a different room, and I know it was a different room because the room where I was had wooden walls, and this room had white walls, and it had a white bed and a door, and so they're supposed to get you ready for bed, and they have these snap-on gowns. Well, this one girl who was supposed to be, she was a nurse, supposed to be taking care of me. It was getting later and later, so I said, "Can I get to sleep?" And so she goes, "Sure." So she has this gown, and she snaps one half, but the other half she leaves open. And I'm like, "Are you going to come back and take care of this?" And it was late. It had to have been like 10 o'clock. And she was like, "What do you need?" I had attitude. And I was like, "I need you to snap me up. I need to get to sleep, right? And I need you to close the door," because I could tell the door was going to a parking lot. It was not going to a hallway or a nurse's station like before. And I could hear all kinds of people laughing, talking, and so I was freaked out. I could hear them say something about the lady next door didn't make it, and I was like, "Oh, they're probably coming for me next." So I called my husband on my cell phone with whatever little power I had left, and I said, "Come get me. They're going to kill me. They're going to try to kill me. Come get me." And he's like, "Can you please stay there? They're trying to help you." And I said, "Steve, you are so stupid. They are going to kill me. You're going to find out in the morning, right?" So I was trying to get out of there, and he wasn't budging. He's like, "Work with them, work with them." And they had this like monitor thing where they had they were monitoring everything on me, but then they turned all the lights off, and all they were monitoring was like this pink light, and it kept getting smaller and weaker. And I said, they're gonna kill me. And I said, "You're gonna be sorry in the morning." So I text my sister. I'm like, "If I don't make it, just know that they did it, and I can't leave because Steve doesn't believe me." And So all night I wrestled with that, and then about 5 o'clock in the morning, one of the doctors comes in and he has his T-shirt on and it says confused, and they have like this clothesline. So he pulls the clothesline back and he comes, Mrs. Williams, are you okay? You know, and so I was like, I was okay, but now I don't trust you guys. And he's like, I just think maybe you're confused. And I said, I don't know. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I hadn't slept. So finally I said, just tell me one thing. And he goes, what is that? I said, am I going to make it? And he said, oh, I'm sure you're going to make it, Mrs. Williams. I'm sure you're going to make it. So I just went to sleep. I was like, either I'm going to make it or I'm not going to make it. So anyway, that's just some of the instances that happened. I could tell you more, but I mean, you get the gist. And I was, after a while, every time they asked me, did you see anything or did you hear anything? Which I did still. I just stopped telling them that I heard things. I'd be like, nope, didn't hear a thing. And the first time I said, because I noticed that every time I said something, like they did this or this happened, they'd be like, give her another CAT scan, give her another MRI. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it. The more I say, the more they're going to do more tests on me, and I'm going to get out of here because I don't want them to lock me up in that crazy bin. So as things were happening, only thing I said is like, it's one thing if I'm in true delirium, but if you're making things happen, that's not truth, and you need to live in the truth. Don't live in lies. Because if I'm truly delirious, I would like to know as well. But you shouldn't bring on these scenarios. And so I did look up Stanford Hospital, and I did see that they do have a delirium program to try to find people who may be delirious, and then later on it could lead to like Alzheimer's or something like that. So I just said, just do what's truthful. If it's true, that's one thing, but don't make up stuff, because I'm not stupid, right? And so I learned. I stopped seeing stuff. I did. I had more things that I was seeing, but I ended up just like, I don't see it, I don't hear it, I'm out of here. I'm going home. So I told one doctor, monkey see no evil, monkey hear no evil, monkey speak no evil. And he goes, what? No, you gotta really tell me. I was like, nope. I said, stop it. Teddy. I was like, nope, don't. I'm not even going to tell you, even if I did. So it's over. I'm going home. So anyway, that's part of what it's like to be in delirium. It's terrible. And hopefully you will never have to experience it. I mean, but it is a real thing. And, anything can put you in delirium, a car accident, a surgery where you go under. I mean, different people have different experiences, but I'm just grateful to be home and not dead and moving forward. So thank you for joining me. I hope that some of you can get a laugh out of it. And then I'll move forward. I am doing well. I got tests to do and procedures to go through, but so far I'm doing well. So just a little tired, as you can tell, but I think it's the medicines that they put me on. I have no makeup on, so that could have helped too. Put some eyeliner on would be better. But anyway, have a great weekend. I hope you go with the Father. Be blessed. I love you. And thank you so much for following my journey. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Is it not going to stop?